In this demonstration, you'll learn how to create a repository area for your DiveTab site. A repository area displays a list of files that reside in a DivePort document library. A document library is a directory used to store files on the server for delivery to end users. For each file you want to download for offline viewing, you first tap or click the On/Off button to change the setting to On. Then click or tap Sync Files. To display the contents of a particular file, click or tap the name of the file in the list. To remove one or more files from the device, for example, to free up space on the device, click or tap the On/Off button for each file. We're changing the setting to Off here. And then click or tap Sync Files. To create a repository area for your DiveTab site, you need to follow these basic steps. Create a document library in DivePort. Create an alias within your DiveTab project for the DivePort document library. Populate the alias folder with documents for the repository. And create a DiveTab script for the repository. Let's walk through the process of creating the document library in DivePort. We'll begin by opening the DivePort instance we created for our DiveTab site. To get the DivePort URL, we'll open our DiveTab project in Workbench, open the Connection Manager, open the connection for our DiveTab, and copy the contents of the host field. Now we can paste the contents of the field into a browser window and log in to the DivePort instance. Next, we'll select Document Libraries from the Admin menu. Then we'll click New, enter a name for the document library. We're calling it Milk Yields, and close the dialog box. Next, we need to return to our Workbench project and create an alias for the new document library. First, we'll select Tools, Project Settings. Next, we'll click Aliases, and then the Add Alias button. We'll name the alias MyDocLib. Now we'll specify the path to the document library in DivePort. The top-level folder in the path name is DI, followed by Platform, Web Data, DivePort Test, the name of our DivePort instance, Doc Libraries, and then Milk Yields, the name of our document library. The path name appears under Target Path in our list of aliases. When we save the new alias settings, the Workbench Explorer pane updates to show the new folder. The blue color indicates the folder is an alias folder. Now we can add the files we want to list in our repository to our alias folder, MyDocLib. We already have the 3 files we want to use in the Staging folder. We'll move them into MyDocLib. Next, we'll take a look at the completed script for this repository area. The script for our repository area is in a file called repository.divetab. Let's look at the code in this script line by line. First, let's look at the repository area tag. This tag indicates that the code block defines the contents of a repository and allows us to specify an ID for the repository. In this example, the ID is Repository Area 1. Second, we added the repository tag. This tag allows us to specify the DivePort document library that contains the documents we want to list in our DiveTab repository. In this example, the DivePort document library name is Milk Yields. Third, we added the title tag. The title tag has two functions. It creates a title for the button that links to the repository area, and it specifies the title that will appear at the top of the repository page. And fourth, we added the icon tag to specify the icon we want to display on the button. Now we'll look at the effects of our repository script on our DiveTab site. If DiveTab is already open when you add or modify a script, you save the script in Workbench, click or tap the DiveTab Sync button, and navigate to the page where you've made changes to see their effects. In our case, DiveTab is not currently open, so we need to launch it using the command Tools, Launch DiveTab PC, and then we'll click our new Milk Yields button. The repository with its 3 PDF documents appears on the screen. So that's how you add a repository area to your DiveTab site. You create a document library in DivePort, create an alias for the document library in your DiveTab project in Workbench, populate the alias folder with documents for the repository, create a script for the repository, and launch DiveTab to confirm that everything is working properly.